Hey guys, just want to make a quick video just to explain how I'm going to trade the setups or the potential setups because we don't have one just yet, but what might play out. Now, just excuse my background here. I've just moved into a new pad, so I'll take a little bit of time to get everything fully set up. But there's a bit of a mess in the background. But what we need to focus on here, right? The 4 hour is already putting a pivot, right? So we're getting to the point where we could start to get bullish divergences, right? So now what I'm going to be looking for is a potential rollover and sweep of this level through here and create a candle that looks something like this, right? If we come down, this is a nice sort of little demand zone from back here as well. I think could get tagged anywhere in between 28 up to 25. So, sorry, 28 to 28.5. So any candle that looks like that, potentially could be a reversal type setup candle. I'm looking for something that looks like this, basically. That was a really small one. Sometimes we get bigger ones, something like that, for example, or this one here, right? Or this one here, Usually you get something like that when there's a bottom gets put in because it just, sucks in a whole heap of shorters at the bottom. They get trapped. And then the reason why we're reversed is because those shorts are being forced to close and, the whales really push it heavily against them. We didn't really get that back here, but, there was arguably this. But we can see it was extremely oversold down here. So very, very deep oversold levels got down to 8.7. And it didn't roll over. And that was because to give the bearish divergence, which it probably would have done. It usually does do something similar. You can see back here, we did get that second rollover and get the divergence in there. But usually you get one or two or three or four divergences, but usually it's one or two. Depending if Sam Bankman-Fried is just trying to constantly wick his own traders out or not, though, and manipulate the market against them. But typically recently, it's been like the divergence plays have been pretty smooth lately. So I'm looking for something that looks similar to this, right? Nice SFP in here, good bullish divergence. Back here, we didn't get one. And the reason for that was that the Federal Reserve came out and they said that they were backing all of the banks and they're going to bail them out. And so that was a huge amount of liquidity injected into the market and it just started pumping based on that. And we can see that back here. It was here. So you can see the US liquidity through here, which is the green line, absolutely just launched on that day. And Bitcoin sort of front ran it a little bit on the first couple of days, but then obviously caught up. But that was the reason that ended up playing out like that. And you didn't get the divergence. So I'm looking for something similar here, right? A sweep of the low, nice bullish divergence through here, and then into a reversal, right? So this one, it was the second candle really here, and there was a little bit of an FVG back here that didn't get tested. So it sort of held above the breaker and then pushed from there. And sometimes they will come back down, and that's sort of like that ICT model, the smart money concepts, looking for the entry in here, or sometimes as well, they're looking for like a little fair value gap or something like that in there. This is a 4 hour time frame. Might have been something more obvious on the lower time frames, but that sort of structure to form for reversal on the 4 hour, I'll take something like that for sure. So that would be a sweep of this low through here, right? Just going to delete this and draw it out for you one more time. That would be a sweep of the low through here like this, right? And reclaim that and then sort of flip that and then reclaiming this level through here. Now, that's where it starts to get really interesting and we need to start to see action happening on the daily time frame, okay? So we would need to see the key levels, right? So obviously this level probably needs to get swept, right? Regardless of that, if it does or it doesn't, reclaiming 29,500 makes it look a little bit better, right? But still not out of the woods just yet. So price can come up here, reject off this order block, and then continue further down, right? So need to be careful of that. Getting bullish too early. So I could add here and start to build a position. So let's just say I want to do a 3 Bitcoin position, right? I might add 1 BTC at 29.5 if on a reclaim of that. And then if it drops down here, I'm only going to lose a few $100s, not a few $1,000s. Say if I just put the whole 3 on straight away, right? So, okay, we reclaim that level, starting to look good, but we know that we can still get rejected from here. So we're sort of tentatively playing with it, right? So we're about here at the moment. Okay, that looks all right. Knowing we can still get rejected from here, we're going to wait to see if it can reclaim and flip this level here into support. I think if we get above 30K again, it's probably going to flip this range and push back to the range highs. And then we'll be looking to challenge that previous year value area high again. So I could definitely look to add if we can flip the level of the VWAP again. So anchored VWAP from the low down here, right? I've been looking for that to flip back bullish. We can see through here, price did not want to close below that anchored VWAP, right? And then we finally get the close below, and that's when it dumped. So it took a lot of force to get back below that. So there's a decent chance that this comes up and rejects off that VWAP. There's also this order block through here as well. So, there's a little bit of confluence there from the continuation block that could cause us, to fail a rally here. So I could look for shorts at this point here. So if I get a candle that looks like this, right? And it would be nice and red, right? Something that looks like that. Good examples, would be one of these, this sort of formation, shooting star reversal type thing. There were so many good examples. I think I need to go down to the 1 hour. Let me show you here what I'm talking about. Right, so if we get our anchored VWAP, chuck it on up here. Right, so this would be my short entry here. All right, so be looking for something like that. Comes up into the order block, pin bar rejection off the VWAP as well, right there, and looking for a rollover. Okay, it might come up all the way up to here as well, so just need to be careful of that. But this VWAP is going to be interesting to see if it can reclaim that or not. And then also it's been rejecting off this one multiple times now as well. So it's going to be interesting to see if it can reclaim that, which will end up being somewhere around 30K if this does try to make a push. So I might initially open a position above 29.5 initially, then add to it if we can get above and hold above 29.7. And then if we can flip this range, which is also from the this local range where the market sort of just went to shit and started chopping sideways and being a bit weird. If it can then get above that and flip that into support and hold above 30, then yeah, add the final 30% of my allocation. And then I'm looking for, a trade up to previous year value area high. I might take the first part of the trade off here, right? So take some profit. And that basically means the rest of the trade is pretty much free. I can lock in some profit, move stop loss up to underneath this level here. And then I can just let it roll and relax and sleep easy at night, with a decent sized 2 Bitcoin position on, and then just let it run from there. Okay. I'll be looking for this previous year value area high to finally get that breakout. And then we're going to be looking for to push all the way up to 35K, which is the 2021 yearly value area high. Okay, so that is what I am going to be looking for in this area. Hopefully that makes sense. Any questions, let me know in the chat. But basically, the way I'm sort of seeing this, and it's a bit easier to see on the higher time frame through here, is we sort of came up and tagged the range high up here of this previous range. So we're sort of inside this range here. This easily could roll over and hit this range low through here, maybe do a deviation underneath there and then reclaim there. And that can be an entry on the reclaim as well. And then you're going to end up with, something that's probably looking like a bit of a falling wedge into the bottom of this range low back from May 2022. Right. So that's something to think about as well. And that'll take a little bit longer to play out. So those are the main things I'm watching for at the moment. I think they're all the obvious trade setups that should be pretty easy to catch for most people. So yeah, thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. See you all in the next video.